Old people. Am I right? I'm doing a thing with distance here today. Can you tell? So anyway, old people. They eat supper at 3 p.m. They get a senior discount, which means a cup of coffee costs a nickel. They go to bed at 6. They get up to go to the bathroom at 6:45. They know a bunch of stuff, and they've been around a while, and they've experienced a whole bunch of things, and they've got great stories, and they're hard workers, and they don't really complain, unless it's about the youth or whatever. I was working out this morning, and my trainer, he wasn't at the gym last week. I talked to him, like, hey, where were you? He goes, I wanted to go visit my aunt. She's not doing so well. I wanted to make sure I got a chance to see her before she passed. Well, that's cool. He looks at me and goes, old people, they just walk until they die, don't they? That was a weird thing to say. They walk until they die. But man, there's a whole bunch of truth in that statement. A whole bunch of truth. The moment we can't move, or the moment we stop moving, we start to die. Right? I mean, I've said this before. My youngest patient was 5 minutes old. You all know this. He was my son. It was still in the delivery room. They cleaned the goop off him. Boom. Kid got his first adjustment. 5 minutes old. I don't know how many of you know this. My oldest patient is 101. First time I saw her, she came in here in a wheelchair. I had low back pain from sitting all the time. She was either sitting in the wheelchair, sitting in her chair at home, or laying in bed. So we started adjusting her, and she was able to get up and move around and do more stuff. After a couple of weeks, she came in here. She wasn't in a wheelchair anymore. She was using a silver walker that she named Trigger. It was the coolest thing. She was 101 years old. She's still moving. That's one of the main reasons people come to see chiropractors, is to keep moving, right? Because the moment you stop moving is the moment you start dying. Our bodies were designed to move. That's why we have joints. That's why we have, hips and knees and ankles and feet and toes, elbows and, a spine. It allows us to move. And the moment we stop taking advantage of this gift is the moment we start to die. Because when we got a joint that stops moving, what happens? It gets stiff. It gets sore. Now, imagine if that joint was in your spine. And let's say that joint was like super important, and it was used to protect and house something really integral to your being. Let's call it your nervous system. Let's say this joint is protecting that thing. This joint is protecting your nervous system. Okay? But if all of a sudden this joint stops moving because it gets subluxated, and we've got a bone pressing on a nerve, what do you think happens to that life coming through that nerve? Decreases. And wherever that nerve goes, the function of that thing, that organ, that cell, that tissue decreases. Why? Because we had a joint that stopped moving. Chiropractors are great at getting rid of pain and aches and all this everyday stuff that kind of comes up, headaches, radiation down in the arm or going down the leg, sciatica. Great at helping you sleep better. Because if your body can move, if it's fluid, you're going to sleep better. Because you can get comfortable quicker. You ever tried to sleep when you got a crick in your neck? Tossing and turning all night? You got a spot right behind here, back by your shoulder blade, that's been stabbing you all day long? You ever try and sleep with that? You don't get very good sleep, do you? Because you can't move well. Because the moment we stop moving is the moment we start dying. It's the moment we start to de-evolve. right? Some of the healthiest people that you'll ever see sit up straight, stand up tall. Some of the people that are on death's doorstep are hunched over like this. Whether it be canes, walkers, wheelchairs, it's an epidemic in this country, and it's so preventable. All you gotta do is keep moving. If you're having trouble moving, you know who you go see? This guy. Go to a chiropractor. Get moving. It'll make you live longer. What more do you need?